going on, Sumolings? Thank you so much for joining us for another product walkthrough webinar. I am Lindsay, and today I am joined by the team over at Deep. Deep is a multi-purpose theme that allows you to create any kind of website that you can imagine. And it is on AppSumo right now, starting at $49 for a lifetime deal. Before we dive into the walkthrough, how to get set up, all of the features, everything, I just want to tell y'all a few quick things. The first is that if you want to tell us a little bit about your use case, why you're interested in this tool, you can go ahead and do that over in the chat room. We'd love to hear it. You can also tell us where you're watching from, hanging out from. Also, if you have any questions about the tool, the deal, how to get set up, go ahead and leave those questions in the Q&A box down below this video, and we will circle back to them at the end of the walkthrough. And the last thing is that there will be a replay of this available, so if you need to step out or if you just want to watch this later, you are more than welcome. All right, that is enough of me. Hey, Hakan, how are you doing?
Hey, Lindsay, thank you for having me here. Actually, I'm Hakan, so no need to introduction. I'm Hakan from Web News team. In this tutorial, we're going to actually learn about Deep Theme itself. Deep Theme is actually a website builder by which you can create your websites and launch your website for your business. But in this tutorial, in this webinar, we're going to go over basic, you could say tools, features, and functionalities of Deep Theme, not the advanced ones. The reason is because Deep Theme, as you know, is a very comprehensive theme. It has a lot of details, especially in its theme options. So we'll just try to teach you the stuff that you need to run your website, and you need to customize your website with them. So without any further ado, I think we will get to business.
Awesome. I'm going to pass this over to you, and let me know when you're ready to take questions. Have fun.
Sure thing. Thank you, Lindsay. Okay, so first of all, as you know, the users will definitely purchase the Deep Theme on AppSumo itself, and then after they purchase the Deep Theme, they have to go to their Web News dashboard. It's an automatic, system. It will take them to their, you could say, Web News dashboard. Then they have to enter their username, the username by which they actually purchased the product, and the password that they set for it. And after they log into their dashboard, they will be faced with this Web News dashboard here. You can see on my screen. You will go to Downloads tab here, and in Downloads tab, you will see that you have these themes here. So the main one is Deep Theme, and it's Deep Core plugin that you have got to download. But the other themes are actually some of our old themes that still, if you want to, test them, try them, you can download them as well. So they are included in the package as well. But now let's get back to Deep Theme. So in this dashboard, you will click on Deep Theme and also Deep Core plugin in order to download them. And when you downloaded them, there are, I think, 1 megabytes, and also this one is 10 megabytes, so it will just take a few seconds, not more. When you've downloaded them on your computer, you will go to your WordPress dashboard. You can see that my WordPress dashboard is clean right now. Here, you have got to install both of them in order for the installation to be complete, because these are two separate tools, but they should be installed both, together in order to be able to use the Deep Theme itself. So I have already installed them on my WordPress, but I have to activate them for installation of the theme. It's easy. You will have to go to Appearance, then to Themes here. And at the theme, you will click on Add New, and then simply click on Choose File, bring it from your computer and install it here. And then there will be a button here as Activate that I'm going to click on it right now. By clicking on Activate, the theme will be activated, as you can see. But before moving forward, you've got to go to Plugins as well. Click on Add New Plugins. In order to install your plugin, you will click on Upload Plugin, choose File, and go to your computer system and add the Deep Core plugin in order to install it here. I've already installed it here, so I'm just going to activate it. When you click on Activate Deep Core Pro, it will redirect you to the wizard, which actually makes life easier for you, because here you won't have to go to Deep Dashboard, activate it, and then go to Deep Importer. So you don't have to do these parts separately. Here is a wizard, and it will take you step by step towards having your website built and running. So here in the first part in the wizard, I've got to enter my purchase code. that you've got from your web news dashboard as well. As you know, you have got to go to your purchase details, then find product you've purchased, click on view licenses, and simply in the next page, you will click on a key button, which will show you the key license. So I've already got it. So you can see by clicking on this key button, I can see my license here, but I've already got it for this presentation. So I'm going to copy and paste it here. All right, I will paste it and I will click on submit. After you click on submit, your theme will be activated and all its functionalities will be ready to be used. In the next step, you will be faced with the demos of Deep theme, and you can choose and install any one of them you like. Also, you can click on preview in order to preview them in a new tab to see which one you like the most based on your business. For example, if you have an agency, if you need a minimal blog, if you need a restaurant demo, a language school, we have got all demos for almost all kinds of businesses. So you can definitely find the website for a business here. But for this particular webinar, I'm going to choose the event business as my demo, and by clicking on it, it will be selected, and simply just click on next. When you click on next, in the next step, you will go to the page builders. Deep theme uses 2 page builders. One is the WP Bakery and the second one is Elementor. But some of the demos has got the WP Bakery, but some of them just got Elementor and some of them got both of them. But Elementor is a bit more popular, so most of the demos are built with Elementor, but definitely there is the option to use WP Bakery as well. So for this particular demo, we've got Elementor, which is already selected, so I'll click on next. And then in the next step, you've got to install the plugins required for this demo, because each demo has got its own plugins based on the kind of business and the kind of functionalities that are needed for your website. So simply by clicking on activate all plugins, the plugins you can see that are being installed one by one, but you have got to wait until these plugins are installed. It should not take more than a few seconds. And when this button is turned green, you're ready to click on next step. In the next step, as you know, Deep Theme Demos has got real content, and these content have been devised and planned with by a content creator team. So you can use the real content itself, and you can also customize it and change it. So here in this part, you can choose, for example, what contents you want to import into your demo. You can import images, pages, posts, even if there are any. Or you can just import all of them and then customize them later on when you're working on your website. So I choose all for this demo to see how it works and click on import. Then there will be a message in order to import them. You'll click on OK. This should also take a few seconds, not more, depending on your server or host provider. This is very important. All right. Now, we have got our demo completely imported with the plugins and the content. So you can see 4 buttons at the bottom. So the first one is Deep Dashboard. If you click on this, it will take you directly to the Deep Dashboard itself. That I will talk about it later on. Then we have theme options, because some developers who are actually professionals or pros in this area, they will need to do some stuff like probably white labeling in their theme options, so they will directly go to theme options. So that's why we have put this button here in order to place it here if you want to use it and go directly to the theme options. And then we've got tutorials in which there are documentations. There is the support portal where you can create a ticket and ask your questions directly from our experts. And then there is the visit site where you can see your demo that now that has been imported. How does it look? So let's have a look. Okay. After the preloader is done, you can see that the demo is imported. Everything is nice looking and placed where it should be. You can see that my website is built. It is the footer sections that you can see here. So it's got its header as well, but you don't see a menu here. I will tell you why in the next few minutes. But definitely there is a header menu. And so I would like to go to Deep Dashboard first in order to explain the Deep Dashboard itself a little bit for you before we do any customization on the website itself. So in the Deep Dashboard, you will have some tabs here. The first one is Dashboard itself. So you can see the first section is a section in which you have to, enter your license key in order to activate the theme. If you don't use the wizard, you've got to use this section in order to activate your theme. But if you use a plugin and activate it, it'll redirect you to the wizard, so you don't have to do it manually here. But this is just in case user needs to change the license or something like that. The next section is documentation first. So if you click on this, it will take you to the next page, which is the documentations of Deep Theme. There are a lot of articles that you can use in order to learn how to work with Deep Theme itself. You can click also on search whatever you need here, and you can go to different tabs about sliders, pages, blogs, and find the answers to your questions. Then we've got the support forum here. By clicking on open a ticket, the widget will be opened, and simply you can add your details here, like choose your product, your name, email, subject, and other stuff that you need to ask your questions in details from our experts. And our experts will get back to you like in 8 hours at least, and at what most it would be like 48 hours. But it depends on the technical issue you have or you're facing, so it would be a little bit different. But most of the time, if the technical issue is not something serious, then it would be 8 hours. So the next section is some general, settings or information about your website, like how many pages you have, how many posts, comments, and other stuff that they will be displayed here. So you have, some information about your website as well here. And also, next section is system status. The system status are, some requirements for your website, for WordPress mostly, not the website itself or theme itself. These are recommendations for your WordPress, and it's not very important to set them to have, have a checkbox or something. Even with the least requirements, if you set that here, your website will work properly, most probably. But if you want to change them, you can change them yourself. But it's very, dependent on your host provider and server itself. So if you have a powerful server, you won't have to change them. But if you don't have a powerful server, then you should definitely change them. But in most of the cases, these are just recommendations, and you don't have to change them. Their default, numbers would be okay for your website, and the performance will be just fine. So the last section is the changelog. So if you release an update, it can, keep track of the updates and what we've done in a new, for example, version of the theme itself. So this is the Deep Dashboard itself. Let's go to the next step, which is Demo Importer. So as you remember in the wizard, we've got the demo importer. So very good, actually choose your demo, preview your demo, select it, and click on next. Here, that's almost exactly the same thing. So here you can look at some demos. If you want to choose your demos from here, not the wizard, you can see them here. So for example, if you want a corporate demo, magazine, construction, all kinds of demos, they are here. So you can just find the demo that is matches your business and just choose it. And before you select it and import it on your website, you can simply preview it to see how does it look. For example, if I click on preview on corporate, it will be loaded in a new page, and I can see how does it look. And if I like it, I can simply import it and use it. So this is the corporate. So it's a pretty website, you could say, with all its real pages and real content. So if you like this, for example, demo, you can simply import it and install it on your WordPress and just use it. So this is the footer and all its sections. All right. Let's get back to the Deep Dashboard itself. So if you click on import, for example, for this one, I'm not going to import it. I'm just going to show you how does it work. You can simply, for example, choose which page builder you want to use. For example, corporate, you can see here that uses 2 page builders, Elementor and also WP Bakery. So if you use WP Bakery, you can simply just select WP Bakery and then activate all plugins. Still wait for them to be activated, choose your content, and then click on import. It takes a few seconds until your website is up and running. So this is one of the demos actually that works with both page builders. So some of them work with both, and some of them just work with Elementor. The next tab is plugins. A lot of users actually ask this about the plugins themselves. They asked us that, like, what are these plugins that are on your theme? So if you install the theme, just like what I said, and you go to this plugins tab, you can see that we've got 27 premium plugins that are actually, I guess, necessary for most of the websites. For example, plugins like ACF Pro, Element Pack, Jet, Jetpack plugins, all of them, Jet plugins, I should say, all of them, from CrocoBlock company, and Ninja pop-ups, every other important plugin that you need for your website. Probably you will find it here in the premium tab of the plugins section. So we have also filtered them into different categories in order to find your plugins easier. For example, the page builders have been filtered here. If you click on it, you can just see the page builders. The plugins related to WooCommerce has also been filtered, and if you click on WooCommerce, you can see them here as well. And other stuff that you can just click and filter and find a plugin that you'd like and install them. Also, there are some free plugins as well that you can see them here and install them on your WordPress as well to use them on your website. The next tab would be tutorials, and as I said before, this is documentations and support forum. The support forum, if you click on open a ticket, you can create a ticket and ask your questions from experts. They will get back to you like as soon as possible. And then we've got the documentation that by clicking on it will be redirected to documentations of Deep theme, and you can simply see all the articles that you need to find your answers in them. And also there are some videos that you can watch in order to learn how to work with Deep theme itself. The next tab would be performance. In performance tab, you've got some recommendations, suggestions for our users. For example, here we suggest two plugins. One of them is actually WP Rocket, and also the second is Super Cache. But you can install any plugins you want to increase the performance of your website. So they're like Speed Performance is another plugin that you could use in your website in order to increase the performance of your website. So it depends what plugin you use yourself, but these are just recommendations. So in this tab, you can find these two plugins and install them or get them if you like to work with them on your website. The next tab is Header Builder. I'm going to open it in a new tab because it will just take you to Header Builder itself. So as you can see, when you click on Header Builder and it is loaded, just waiting a minute. Right, so the Header Builder is now loaded. You can just click on this button in order to see the full page of your website, but you don't see a menu here. I'll tell you why, what's the reason. Most of the demos, have got the menu here already, but some of the demos do not have this menu, but you can simply just add it here because it is actually created. Let me show you how you can do that. You will go to your dashboard. Sorry. Then you will go to your here, appearance, and then menus. So I opened it in a new tab. Very good. So here you can see that you can simply click on Create Menu, and your menu will be created because it has been created from before, but we just did not click on this. So that's very simple. You will go to Appearance, to Menus, and then click on Create a Menu. And you can also click on Save Menu, no need to do that. Then you will have an option here, Manage Locations, but you don't have to manage the location of your menus from here in WordPress, because if you use the Deep Theme Header Builder itself, you can simply do it on your live edit, here. And you can live edit your menu here. It's very simple. You can see that you have 4 rows for your menu. So you can have 4 rows up here. And for each row, in order to use them, you can simply click on this I button, if you can see it, and you can turn it on, and it will be added here above this section. So now we have turned on the second section, and we have added a button, a search, widget, and also an icon content widget that you can see here, which is this one, the search button, and also the button here, but we don't have a menu. As I said, in appearance, I added my menu already. So here, the simple thing that you have to do is that we already have a menu. So we will click on this pen icon or pencil icon, no difference. You'll click on pen icon, and when it pops up, you can simply select your menu from here. So this is the menu that I already created from the appearance. So you'll click on it. You can see that it is actually added here. So it's very simple. So you can see there's a hello world here. So it's a, not necessary here. You can remove it, not to show it there for you, and save the menu again. Then go back here. Click on publish, so you will have your menu because I already edited it. And you see that the hello is already gone. So I've treated my menu from appearance. I have edited my menu here in header builder of the deep theme, which is a very simple tool in order to build your headers. And here I've selected my menu, and it is now displayed here in a live edit menu. So you can change some general options from here. For example, where's your parent menu, and if it's full width or it's not, 100% height you want it or not, there is a radio button. You can turn it on or turn it off. So these are the general options. Then we have the styling options here that you can change. For example, if you want to change the color of your menu, if you want to turn it to, I don't know, blue, for example, then the color of your, you can see header menu will turn into blue. But I'm going to go with the same thing, which is black, which I like it more. So you have it. Then you can change the color of the hover. You can, like, for example, turn it a little bit lighter. So if you go on the buttons, you can see that the color has now changed. And like, you have all these styling options here. You can change, for example, the font weight to make them more bold or less bold, change the font size, everything. So all kinds of these, styling options are here for developers or web designers in order to, go here and customize their header as they want. So it's very easy to work with the styling options here. Then there is another menu for extra classes. If you want to add some custom CSS codes, you can simply add an extra class here and then go and just write your CSS codes in order to change the header builder, its appearance, and anything you want about it. So I'm not going to add extra class here because we're not going to get to coding with these kind of things. You need to know that you don't need any, coding knowledge in order to style these, menus or anything in deep theme. It's just a matter of, your taste. If you want to use CSS codes and just to customize things, you can do that. We actually added that option into the theme itself. But for most of the cases, like 99% of the cases, you will not need any coding knowledge in order to do that. So it is not just for developers. For basic users, like users who do not know or who do not have some knowledge about WordPress, this tool will help them a great deal in order to have their websites. So this is the header builder. Something else that I have to say, for example, you have added some widgets here in this menu. You can add more widgets if you want, like in the right section, middle section, or left section, which you can see here, right, middle, and left. That we've added them here, like from logo menu and other options. But if you want to, even edit themselves, style these as well, it's very simple. You will go on it. If you want to show it or not show it, you will click on this eye icon here. If you want to copy and paste it to have two elements and then customize one of them, you will click on this copy button, which you have here. And if you want to edit it, you will simply click on this pen button. I'm going to style a button, for example, a little bit. So first, again, general options. You can add a link, change the link to the for this button. So when the users click on it, they will go to, for example, another page that you like. You can change the, you can turn on open link in a new tab so that the users can see the new page in a new tab, not on the same page. So it's a radio button. You can turn it on or turn it off. Depends on your stuff. Also, you can add new follow link, do follow link, show tooltip text. Everything that you want is in general options. But for styling the button, you will go to the styling options and you can change the color of the button. For example, to turn it to dark blue, you can change it to dark blue, or you can just take it back to your same color. I'm not going to change it because I like the design of the website. Also, you can change the color, fonts. You can change the font weight. You can change the font size. Font styling, text transform. So you have or alignment of the text. Everything is here for you to change it. For example, you can change the border radius. You can change it to 10, 10, 10, and 10. So it might take a few seconds, but it will actually affect the button itself. You can see that now the border radius is changed to 10. You can change the hover color if you want. It's now black, but you can change it to something a little bit lighter if you want. So when you go onto the button, you can see that the hover is a little bit lighter than that. So every styling options are here. Also, there is another tab, extra class, just like the menu. Here you can add an extra class. And if you want to code something, CSS code something, you can just use CSS codes based on the class you have entered here. So in the end, let me tell you that there are some predefined headers as well in Deep Theme, so you won't have to create any headers. So this is the part that I said you won't need even to do a lot of customizing, because if you don't even know how to work with Elementor or work with this header tool, then you can simply just choose your header and choose the one that you like the most and just upload it on your website. So you can see that there are a lot of them here. But now I'm not going to choose anyone because I like my menu itself. It's nice looking. But in the end, you have the export header, import header. If you create a special header and you want to save it and use it on another website, you can simply just export it. And then in another website that you're using the D theme, you can import your header, and the header will be just imported there, and you can use it on other websites as well. So this is another option that we added to this header builder. Then you have this tablets, mobiles, and also sticky menu, because you want to use the same menu on different devices, or you want your users to be able to use them on different devices. So that's the exact same thing. In tablets, you can add your widgets. And when you add your widgets, you can actually edit them, customize them. There are a lot of widgets that you can use. Like, there's nothing that you need that there's not here. Everything is here, believe me. So you can simply just add it here and edit it and add it to your, for example, tablet or mobile. But if you want to, for example, add a new menu to your mobile and you don't like the menu on your desktop, you can simply go on the menu that you have you've already here. You should not remove it, because if you remove it here, it will be removed on the desktop as well. So it's very important. So try to have this in mind, that you have just to hide it. You can simply click on this eye icon and hide it from the for example, tablet or mobile, and then click on add a menu, and simply click on this menu and add a new menu and just style it just as you like. So you can add menus to any devices you want and create custom design menu for each device that you want to customize. The last but not least is a sticky menu. So every website nowadays has got a sticky menu. You can see that my menu is not defined here for the sticky menu, but that's the same thing that we did for the menu in the website itself. And it's very simple. You will click on menu, hover over the menu, click on the pen icon again, and just choose that menu that you built in your WordPress from appearance menus, if you remember. So that's very simple. I'll click on menu 1, and then it will be added to my sticky menu. You can see that it's here. So this is my normal menu. When I go down, this is my sticky menu that you can see that has been added here. So you want to save your work here. Don't forget to click on publish in order to save everything that you did on the header menu itself. When it's published, simply click on the back button, and it will take you back to your dashboard. You can see I'm here again. So this was all about the header builder. So header builder is a great tool in order to customize your header and create any kind of menu for your websites. And it can actually design your menu on different devices, and the menus on different devices can be different based on your styling for each device there. The next one is theme options, which is very important, and which has got a lot of details. So I'm not going to go over every detail of the theme options, but if you have questions at the end of the webinar, make sure to ask me the questions. Don't worry about it. But here I'm going to just go over some very important stuff that most of the users need. So in general options, you can see we have got some general settings for the theme for the website itself. For example, the responsiveness of your website. If you want your website to be responsive, definitely you have to turn it on and you have to keep it on. So most of the options like CSS minifier or adaptive images, they have got to be enabled, I think, for most of the websites, but this is an option for you. So if you're a developer and you need something else, you can just disable them and do your coding and your stuff in order to change something on your website. But for most of the websites, definitely these options need to be turned on, but some of them maybe are not as important as the other ones. For example, admin quick access is something that we have already added to the theme. You can see that there is a button here. If you click on it, there are some, quick access to some important pages that we thought that they might be important for the users, and in order to click on them from anywhere they are on their WordPress, on their website, when they are actually editing. So these pages are like documentations, theme options, add new event, and other things that you can see here that we thought would be important for the person who is actually imported this demo. So if you don't want it here and you see that it is bothering you on the page, I don't know, when you're doing your customization on your website, you can simply just disable it and simply save your changes, and this will be gone after that. But for the sake of this webinar, I'm not going to turn it off because we need it for the next few later minutes. So here you can also change the fav icon of the website, which is the icon here that you can see on your new tab. I know that you know that, but just saying. So you can change these general options from the first menu in your options. And also, I have to say, for example, about the adaptive images that I said I think you won't need to turn it off. Adaptive images is for the images to, match the resolution on different devices. So if you've got a mobile phone or if you've got a tablet or something, the images need to be, need to match that device resolution. If it's a small device, then the images should, rescale and become a little bit smaller. So I think you have to turn it on and you have to keep it on in order for your images to be responsive based on the devices. So as I said, these are important options. I think they should be enabled, but it depends on your taste and on what you need exactly. So you can turn them off here or keep them on. The next one is container. In container options, in theme options, you can change your container of the website. So you've got a layout which can be wide or which can be boxed. It's your choice for your, for example, sorry. For your website, to if you want to, for example, keep the container wide container, or if you want to keep it as boxed. So it depends on your needs here. I'm going to close these tabs in order to just work with these ones. Sorry. So you can see that my menu is actually set here. So if you want to change it, you can simply click on box and change the container for your whole website. Then we've got the wide container, which should be turned on when you're actually clicking on wide. It should be enabled to have a wide container on your website. And also, again, you can customize the container of your website. You can change it from, for example, 1,332 to something else based on the your devices or based on your needs and the design of the website itself. Then we have the same option for blog pages. So for the blog of your website, maybe some users want to, for example, decrease this container a little bit to make the text more beautiful in design and more readable for the users. So they can just change this container for blog page from, for example, this 1332 to something less than that in order to make it more appealing to the users. So we can change it. The same thing on mobile landscape, mobile portraits, and for mobile portrait small screens. So you can set your customized, for example, container size, and you have to add it with pixels or px in order for it to be changed, and simply click on Save Changes. So that's it for the containers. Then we've got the page preloader. As you know, the preloader of the website, you saw it, it's a loading before the website is loaded. You can actually customize it, change it from this menu in theme options. You can actually totally turn it off if you don't want a preloader and you want a website to be displayed in the first instance and keep it loading until the website is fully loaded. But to make it more beautiful, most of the websites choose to have a preloader there. So I think if it's enabled, that's a better option. But you can choose from a lot of preloaders here. We've got almost 13 types of preloaders. You can also add your logo here if you don't want a loading on your preloader or any other styles that we have there. So different kinds of loadings. You can add your logos and it will show your logo on a page with a, for example, blue background, which we can change still until the website is fully loaded, and then it will go to your website. So you can just change everything with a preloader here. Also, you can change the timeout as well, because maybe some people would like to preloader to go out faster. So you can add your milliseconds here and make that preloader go away even faster than that. Then we've got the scroll bar. What is a scroll bar? Definitely. So if you want to change the design of the scroll bar, which is this one at the right side of the page, you can simply do it from theme options, a scroll bar, and you can simply turn it on and you will see the options here, and you can change these options for it. It's animation, rail background, cursor color, and anything you want to change about your scroll bar. Then we have got back to top button. It's something that is actually present in most of the websites. So when you scroll, if the DOM of the page is a little bit long, and you want your users to go back at the top as fast as possible, so you can add this button here, and when they click on it, it will go back to the top of the page, as you know. So if you want to customize it, to change it, or even to disable it completely if you don't need it, and you have a very short page, probably, you can simply disable it, or you can just custom make it for yourself. Then we have fast contact form. So in order to know what's fast contact form, I have to explain it a little bit. It will be a form popping up from the right bottom side of your screen, so that your users, if some leads come to your website and you want to turn them into customers as fast as possible, you can add this form to your website. It will be added at the right bottom side of your page, and it will pop up, and your users can actually complete that form in order to give you their emails, phone numbers, in order for your marketing campaigns, probably. And so you can simply turn it on, and you can change the options here, title of the form and everything. And also you can choose a form, but it depends if you have installed a plugin, form builder plugin, for example, in Gravity Forms or any other kind of form builder that you like, and you have created some forms, they will be loaded here, and you can select them from this drop-down menu simply from here. But now if we don't have a form here on our website, and I do not like to have it on my website right now, let's go to something much important. It's white labeling. A lot of developers and web designers ask about white labeling. Deep Theme does have this white labeling, and it is actually very complete. I know that developers would be very excited about this option in Deep Theme, because with this option, they can actually customize the theme itself completely from like A to Z. Even they can change the logo of the theme itself. They can change the fav icon. They can change the icon on WordPress when you want to log into that page. You can just completely white label the theme for yourself and for your clients as well. So these are all the options that you need to, completely customize the theme and make it yourself somehow. So these white labeling options can be found under General and White Labeling Options. The next tab in theme options would be the footer, that we have to get into a little bit more in detail. And I will actually show you how to work with a footer builder of Deep Theme and how to create a footer itself. So in footer, if you want to use the footer builder itself, it's simple. You will actually use these options here in the footer. You can add the footer social bar with turning it on. You can add the footer for Instagram bar and turn it on, and then footer subscribe bar that you can turn it on and customize it here, add your details here, the title and description for the form, and just turn it on in order for your users. And also, I have to say, connected with MailChimp or FeedBurner in order to save the data of your users or emails of users on your website in the footer itself. But if you go to the second menu, you can see there's a footer, but there is nothing here. So this is I could say the general layout for the footer itself, but this one is for the WordPress itself. This is not for the footer builder of the Deep Theme. So if you want to use the footer builder of the WordPress itself, which is in appearance, widgets, as you know yourself, if you want to not to use the WordPress builder of Deep Theme, you can simply go to footer builder itself under footer, disable the footer builder of Deep Theme, and simply go back to footer, and you can see that these options pop up and are displayed on the page. And so if you create a footer with your WordPress itself, it will be turned on and it will be put on your website from here, and you can just customize the footer of your WordPress with these options. But if not, and you want to use the footer builder of Deep Theme itself, simply turn it on, and then you can choose the footer that you have created in your footer builder here in this menu, that we are going to actually go over it and create a footer to see how does it work, or customize the footer that we already have on our website. So if I go back to footer, you can see that the options for the WordPress footer are already turned off, and they're not displayed here as well. All right, so talking about a footer, I'm going to show you how footer builder in Deep Theme works. So you will have to go to footer itself on the dashboard of your WordPress, click on all footers. I opened it in a new tab. You can see that I have the deep footer itself, and I want to customize it. As you know, the footers in the footer builder of Deep Theme are actually customized with Elementor, so or your page builder in general. So if you have a footer, if you want to create a footer, definitely you will go to the page of that page builder, and you can actually build your footer using that page builder. I think it actually gives you a lot of possibilities in order to create different types of footers for your websites. Takes a few seconds in order to load the footer builder itself. So as you can see, this is the footer of my website. In order to compare it to the website itself, you can say this is the footer, very simple footer. And here is the footer that we've created in Elementor for this website, as you can see. So before I continue, I'd like to change the color of this Elementor. Well, there's me a little bit. Okay, that's better. So in order to change the footer or customize it in general, it's very simple. So you've got some elements on the page that you can see. These are the boxes. If you click on them, you can change the content in them, privacy policy or terms and conditions. So it's very simple. If you have a pre-built footer, that actually I have to tell you, in all of the demos of Deep Theme, we've got pre-built footers. So probably you don't have to create a footer. You just have to customize the footer, which is on the website. But still, if you want to create a footer, that's very simple. You will go to the footer builder, you will click on Add New, and simply just create your footer using your page builder. And the page builder gives you a lot of customizability options, and plus the you can say widgets, webness itself, our company created and put into Elementor. If your page builder is Elementor, will give you even more possibilities in order to customize your footer. So here, just to show an example, I just showed you that you can simply change the sections themselves in the footer of your website. For example, terms and conditions, just changed the and. But here, I want to show you how you can add an element on the page. To go to the elements of the Elementor, you will simply click on this button at the top right corner of itself. You can see all the elements of Elementor and also webnews elements. So here I'm going to use, I want to add a title here for my website to show that this is, for example, Volleyball course website. In my footer menu, I'm going to use the webnews title builder, which is not belongs to webnews itself. We've created these widgets for Elementor so that you probably won't need to use Elementor Pro even, because there are a lot of widgets that webnews has actually added to this Elementor basic that can actually allow you to customize and create any type of website or any type of customization you want on your website. So I'm going to use webnews title builder here. Simply, it's a drag and drop. I'm going to add it above 2020 Deep theme. Simply, you can add your title or subtitle. So I'm going to add a title, for example, Volleyball Events website. So you can see that it's a title. So it is not really good looking. Why? Because the tag of it in HTML code, you can see that title HTML tag is H1. So it shows the title as it is in your general options. So I'm going to add it, change it to P as paragraph to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to align it left to display it above the 2020 Deep theme. So you can see that's very simple. Options like, I know, Photoshop or other programs that you can just simply click on some buttons and do anything you want, and you won't have to do any coding for it. And now that I have it here, I'd like to change the font itself. It's black. I don't like it. So I'll go to styling options in Elementor. And from the styling options, you can simply click on title background color to change the background color of this, or you can click on title color to change the color of the, for example, title itself. So it's very simple. If you click on this one, global options, you will have the color palette of your demo and choose one of the colors which has been used in the demo itself. I don't want to use the global color options. I'd like to choose a custom color, which is white. I'm going to change it to white color here. So you can see my title is in a live edit menu or page. You can see that it has changed to white right now. And then you can simply go to typography in order to change the weight of it, for example, to make it a little bit bolder than the other titles here on this page. And then I want to see if these changes have an effect on my website. So I'll just update it, the Elementor menu. I'll go back to my website. I'll simply click on or press F5 or just refresh a page to see if it has been added to my footer already. You can add a logo to your footer. You can add links. There are all these elements in Elementor that you can add to your website. So you can see this is my footer. Now I've got my title for my website here down below the footer as well. So in Footer Builder, if you go to elements, you can see that you can add intersections, images, videos, buttons, dividers, or some space between your elements on your page, icons, and like anything you need to add to your pages, you can add to your footer as well. So you can have a very long footer as well if you want to add your blog posts, I know, contact us, about us, these kind of links. It's very simple. You can add dividers, you can add all of these in your footer, but unfortunately, because of the time, I don't think we can actually create a full footer here. But definitely, if you have any questions regarding the footer itself, still you can ask us. So, but I'm just going to say this: if you write web news here, you can see all of the elements belonging to web news here. You can see that there are a lot of elements here that you can use. And I think if you need any kind of elements, definitely you will find it here. There is nothing left out. But still, if there's something left out, you can tell us about that. Okay. I have already updated it. I'll go back to the menu and I'll click on Exit to Dashboard. Here is my footer. I will click on all footers to see how many footers I have. I have the deep footer default for the website that I've already installed. And as I said, you can add a new footer also by clicking on Add a New Footer. Let me close this one. This one as well. All right. So this was all about the footer itself. Now let's get to pages. So in page options, you have some general options in order to customize your pages. So for example, some of the websites has got a 404 page. If you want to customize it, you can go to your pages on your WordPress, which is here, and click on Add New Page and create a new page for your 404 page. And then from this section on your website, you can simply turn on the custom 404 page and choose the page that you have already created. You can see these are the pages that we've created on a website, the home page, sample page, services, and other pages. And if you created that 404 page, you can select it from there and just save your changes down below. And then that 404 page then will be displayed on your website. Then a link is not found on your website. Then we have other options here to, for example, set your breadcrumbs if you want to set them. General options for page titles, the color of the titles themselves. As you saw in my footer builder, when I actually wrote something, the tag was H1, and the title for it was the styling of the title was the general styling of the title, which you can actually customize from this menu here in page title. And also, if you have a search page, still you can actually turn this on or customize it from here. And there are also other things like a maintenance page. If you want to actually add a maintenance page to your website, still you can do it from your page options menus. So these pages menus in theme options will give you this possibility to add some custom pages to your website if you'd like, and change the titles if you'd like, add breadcrumbs if you want, or add a search page to your website in general. Then we've got the blog page. Blog page has got some default layouts that you can choose from here. So definitely every website has got some blogs. So this website in particular, this demo, do not have a blog page. You can add a blog page for it. And if you added a blog page, you can then customize the blog page to how, for example, that blog page can show your posts on the blog page itself. So we have like different options here, and you can have a sidebar. You can just turn it off by clicking on none, show it on the left side, on the right side, or both sides, depends on your taste. And you can show your excerpts. You can change the blog page title itself, and a lot of other possibilities like social links and an archive page, and everything can be added to that blog page from here. So these are the global options or general options for your blog page in this menu. Again, you have the sidebar options that you can change your sidebar styling from this particular menu here. If you have a sidebar on your blog page itself, then you have the single blog page, which is the post page of that blog when you click on a post. And here you can actually control and adjust all these settings for your single page of the blog. And then you have post metadata, where you can actually control what metadata should be displayed on your blog pages. So you can turn them off or turn them on in order to show them on your blog pages and also blog posts. Then we have some styling options, these are general options because the styling options are available on each page and you can customize your page using the Elementor itself. But these options will help you definitely in order to change some general options on your website. For example, the body background of the website itself, that here, for example, it's somehow gray and blue. If you change it, then the whole color of the background will be changed to that color that you set from here. And on all your pages, so these are scalable options, if you change them, they will be changed everywhere on your website. So keep that in mind. And then you can just change some other colors which belong to, for example, links. If you have links on your websites, for example, in your posts, you have external links, internal links, and when you hover over these links, the color will change. But you can set some, colors here for all the links on your website on any pages, from blog to homepage to services, so that these colors would be the same everywhere on your website. So you can control these colors from this menu in your theme options. Then we have typography. In typography menu, if you actually enable it, the default fonts of Google will be enabled on your website. But definitely you can change these, fonts. If you have if you like some other fonts, you can change them. You can change the size of them, the height of them, border spacing. So you can change the general font styling of your website from these menus. Then we have, divided them into different sections, like you have paragraph typography. So if you have a paragraph or P tag for your HTML on your website for your posts or your pages, then simply from this menu, you can simply change the size, the color, the letter spacing, font weight, and anything else that you want to change in your paragraphs. The same thing goes on for headings, menu typography, and then blog typography, that what happens in your blog page, and also blog posts. Then we have custom fonts, that you have this option to add, if you turn this on, to add 3 different custom fonts here with different formats like WOFF, TTF, or EOT, that you can add to your website and use those customized somehow fonts on your website. Or if you use Adobe Typekit, then simply by enabling this Adobe Typekit, you can actually add its ID here and add its font family and use those, fonts or font families on your website from this menu. The other menus, I'm not going to go over them, but there are simple ones like social networks on your website. You can add all of them here. So wherever you add a social network or social icon, they will, automatically have that social icon. If you have a Google Maps, you're showing it on your contact page, like we have, for example. If I click on Contact Us page, you can see that we already have a map there. So we had to add an API key find right there. Stated here in this link, and you can click on it, go to the documentation of deep theme about these Google Maps, and simply you can learn how to customize your shop page, and again, some general options that you can change from here. Then you have the product page still for your shop. If you have a product page, you can actually control it and adjust it from these options. Then you have the maintenance mode. As I said, in page options, you can actually turn this on if you want to create a maintenance page, custom maintenance page. You can create it in your pages, like from here, pages of WordPress itself, and then add new and customize your page with your page builder, for example, in this case, Elementor, and then simply choose it from here and click on Save Changes. And then you will have that maintenance page for your website whenever you have some problems, or your website is down, or you have some problems with your host provider, etc. So that's another option. And then we have custom codes in theme options, where you can add your custom codes here in this custom CSS panel. And then we have this space before the header and a space before the body, which can help you add the codes of, for example, Google Analytics or Google Tag Manager, or any other website which needs to add its snippets or scripts or codes into your website. So you can simply do it from here without any problems. So you just add it here in the header or body, depending on where you have to add it, and simply save changes, and it will work fine on your website. Then the last menu is import and export. So because these menus are very comprehensive, and there are a lot of details and a lot of options in these menus. So we have actually added this option for you that you can simply save your changes on your menu, export them, and if you're building a website with Deep theme somewhere else, you can go to that website and simply import them there, so you don't have to do it over and over for each website, depending on the website you're creating. So here, that's simple. You can simply export and import your options and just save changes. So we are almost done with the theme options and almost done with the dashboard itself. Let's get back to the dashboard. So now I'd like to customize a page to show you that your website, which has been already imported, is now ready for customization. And in order to customize it, simply we'll go to your pages and click on edit. So I'll go to pages, all pages. And I'd like to edit, for example, the contact us page, which I just showed you a few seconds ago. This is my contact us page. I'm going to change the title a little bit, change maybe these settings, the stylings, the colors, add some sections here, probably underneath this, to show you how does it work. So here's the contact us page. So as you can see here, I clicked on edit. I could click on edit with Elementor and it would go directly to Elementor itself. But if you click on edit, then you have a page where you can actually edit it with WordPress, but do not do that because this styling might get a little bit, unorganized because it has been built with Elementor. So you have to customize it with Elementor. Simply click on edit with Elementor and it will redirect you to the Elementor page below in order to customize your page. All right. Okay, now it's fully loaded. It depends on your server and host provider, the time that the website is going to be loaded. All right, so this is not something about the theme itself. It is very much related to your host provider. So that's a different thing. And for myself here, it's a little bit slow for me. So you can see that I have my page. You can see these are all different sections. Definitely you can't edit your header from here. You have to go to your header builder, but you can definitely customize each and every section on this page, from the title to these sections that have been added here. For example, this is a spacer, a section that actually gives you a little bit of space in order to show text a little bit at the bottom of this section. And then you have title, other texts, the map that you have added here, and different sections that you can see here. So I'm going to actually first show you how to customize things on the page. It's very simple. First, I'll click on the thing that I want to change, and I will have some options here. So the first tab is content, second is a style, and the third is advanced. So first I'll start with the content. So in content, depending on the widget that you chose, you can have some options in order to change the stylings of that particular widget. For example, here we have a title builder, which is created by Webnose itself. You can add a title here, for example. I'm going to add to book a course, get in touch. And you can see that I have a subtitle here, or I should say title, which looks like a subtitle, but it depends, because if you go down below here, you can see that title HTML tag for it is H6. If I change it to H1, then it will be very bold and very big, because now it reads it as a title. However, I'm going to change it to H6 still. That was better. And then from here, you can actually change its alignment to right or left, or wherever you want, which is left is the best one in this case. And then you can change the animation. As you saw, if you, for example, you put it as left to right, then it will come in from left to right. If you change it to from bottom to top, it will come from bottom to top. And we've got like different animations for different widgets that you can use in order to customize your widget, that particular widget that you want. So This is the content tab. That you have some general options. Like in most of the widgets, you can actually change the tag. You can add content, delete content, change the like alignment of a text or something, add a link, and change, for example, the link to open in a new tab or on the same page. So these are the general options that you have in the content tab on Elementor most of the time. And if it's a logo or image, you have the option to choose your logo or choose that icon. That later on we'll see how does those things work. So these are the general options. They are not about the styling. You can't change colors on the first tab, which is content. But to change colors, border radius, margin, padding, then you have got to go to styling options. So for this particular example, here you can change the typography. For example, you can change the font weight of this title. If you read it, this is title styling. This is not subtitle styling, because I want to change the title of this, change the style of this title that I've added already. So you can change its font weight, that I will put it on 900, the last one. Then you can change its color. The background color could be changed, but I don't think it would be beautiful or something. So I'll not do that. I'll just take it back to white. And then you can just change the color of the text itself. So if we want to turn it to black, like the subtitle itself, you can simply change it to black here. Then you can add padding if you want to. You can see that the padding is being added here. If you don't want the padding to be added to all sides, simply just click on this link value together, and you can add some paddings, for example, to the right, so that it goes to the right a little bit. So it depends if you want to do it or not. So in some cases, it can be different. So in the next part, there will be a title margin that could change its in a distance from the subtitle itself, but the distancing is okay. Maybe I will just put it a little bit less than that, so it's a little bit closer to it. And then if you have an animation as well, you can change the transition or hover, sorry. You can change the transition, but depends if you want to add a hover to it. But I'm not going to add a hover because we don't want to click on it, and it's not linkable, and it is not clickable as well. So this is for title styling. Then you have the subtitle styling, which is the subtitle, get in touch here. Still, you can change the color of the subtitle, for example, to turn it a little bit darker, or sorry, lighter or darker. Still, you have the same options. You can change the opacity to 0, or you can see 100 or 1, sorry, that you can change it if you want. It depends on your needs. It's padding, it's margin, and everything that you need about the subtitle. You can change the shape of its background or the item itself, which we're not going to change it. And then we have got icons. If you want to add an icon here for this one, you can add an item here and add an icon next to your get in touch title. We will do this down below later on for the icon widget itself. For the custom CSS, you can add some custom CSS if you want to do some coding to make some difficult changes to it. For example, if you want to add some kind of special, probably animation to it, and you want to add it with CSS codes, you can do it from the custom CSS section. But most of the cases, I think you won't need the customization possibility for this with all these widgets. In the advanced tab, mostly you will work on the the whole section itself. So if you change something, for example, in margins, you can see that the whole section moves. So the advanced tab most of the time is concerned with the whole section, not the title or subtitle or any elements of that particular widget that you're using, but the box of it or the container that you have to change it. For example, you can add borders for border radius, you can add the paddings, change the paddings, change the margin of the whole box itself. That we will see later on how do those things work. So let's add a section here. So if I want to add a new section to my contact us page, simply click on this positive icon. Still, you can add actually sections between sections by clicking on this plus icon that you can add a section here. But I'm not going to do that because I'm worried that I'm going to mess up the design of the page. So I'm going to add it here. So clicking this one adds a section here for me that I can now add any widgets that I like to this part. But let me just delete it. I want to add a 2-column section like this. Yeah, this is better. So Then you add your section. Simply click on the Elements button of Elements, and simply you can search, for example, icon, because I want to use some icons here. Webnews icon box that we've created ourselves. You can add it here in one of these boxes. And I want another one as well. So again, I'm going to search, or you can simply even copy and paste it here. So that's easy, just to show you how does it work, because I said it's like a software. You don't have to do any coding, you just copy and paste and everything works fine. So this is the icon box. I want to write something here, add an icon, and for example, add a read more button in order to redirect the users to some specific pages. So for this first one, you've got different types of actually icon boxes. For example, the first one, type 0, we've got like about 30 different types of icon boxes. And this is one of them, that the icon goes to the left and you have your title. Or you have this one, you have the icon at the top and the title at the bottom. And you can choose actually a name for that title and use it on your icon box. So the first tab for it, you can see that chooses the way that the icon box is actually displayed to the users. You can add a hover, add a link, or anything you want to this hover button for yourself. Sorry, to this icon box for yourself. But the next section can actually help you add a link. For example, if I write read more, for example, it will take you to we will add a link here, and let's write let's add a link here. So you can see now I have a button here that's very simple, and I could write, for example, here I have added my link. I could change the title to or go to our help desk, like this. So I've changed the title here. So you see these are general options that you can change from the content box. It's actually the content that you will change here in this specific area. And then you can actually add a paragraph to it. Like, for example, like this. So I've already added a content to it. It's a paragraph, will be added under it. And sorry. Very good. It will be added to it just the way you like. Then you have icon or image. Here you can change the icon. If it's an icon, click here, simply on this select icon, and search for the icon you want. For example, if I write help, it will have like this question mark, different kinds of, for example, icons that you'd like to use on your website. There are millions of them here. So if you search any kinds of words, then you will have, something will pop up here. For example, if I click on document here, the icon of document will be added here with the same color. For example, as you can see, go to our help desk, the content, and then the button. If I click on it, then it will go to that page that I want. And for this specific case, we add it as google.com because we're not going to take the users there. So you have custom ID or custom class. If you want to add a custom ID, you can add a custom ID for your element there, or you can add a custom class even. And then using those things, you can go to your custom CSS coding in the theme options, and you can add your custom CSS codes in order to change the appearance or styling of this specific box for your web page. So it depends on what you need in general. Then in the styling options, so you can see it is link style, title style, content style, icon or image style, box style, and custom CSS that you can actually directly add your custom CSS here using those ID and extra classes that you added in the previous box itself. So here I am going to go to link style, change the link color to something more pinkish, probably something like this. Okay, maybe a little bit darker. All right. So now you can see that it's a little bit turned to pink. So I can customize the styling of my page here by changing these options here on this styling page, depending on what I want to change. So you can change the opacity of it. You can add a box shadow. Definitely, I don't want to add a box shadow here because it's not a box. It's just a title. And you can add a border radius. If it's a button, I will show you how to add a button later on. Then you can actually change the button radius itself. Depends exactly on what you need. So this is my link style. Then you can change the title style as well. For example, if you go to typography, you can change its again weight to 900, or you can change it back to 100 if you don't want it to be a lot bold, like 900 is so much for that, I think, for this particular design. So you can see that now. I think my icon box looks beautiful, and the users, when they come to my contact us page, you can see that they can actually access the help desk itself directly from the contact us page as well, if they want to. So you have other options to change your content style. Still, you can see you can change the alignment to take it left to right or right to left, or even in the middle, center, change the float options, display options, add a hover. You don't want to add a hover for it itself because we have a button here, a link address, which actually can have a hover setting, the border radius, and everything else that you want to add to this content styling here. Then we have our icon itself. Still, if you want to actually make the colors match, you can change the color of it to something a little bit pink to just match the button that you've added down below. Then you can change it width or height. Background color you can add. So if you add a background color, so you can see that the icon is not really beautiful. Depends if you need or you do not need it. There's a button here, you can clear the styling that you already added. You can add a box shadow. So if I add a box shadow here, for example, let's add a 5. You can see that now there is a box and I have my shadow here, and you can set its spread a little bit less than that to make it a little bit, does not show it. And then you can take up the blur to 15 and the horizontal vertical to, for example, a little bit like this. All right. And then you can change the color of it, which is a lot darker, to go and be a little bit lighter than that. So you can see that there is a small shadow behind my icon right now. So you can see that it looks nice. Almost, it's good. And then you can add a border radius, but do not do that because here we do not have a box. For this particular case, I will add a box and I will show you how to edit this border radius and padding or margin in some specific cases if you need. And then after this menu for my icon, I have the box style, the general style of this box. So if you change the border to 30, you can see that. I hope that it is clear here. Let me change the shadow for it so you can see it more clearly. So if it's 5, so you can see now it's 30. The border radius is 30. So if you want to decrease the border radius to 10, or even in my case 8, it looks nice. But you have also this option to not link all these border radiuses and to have one of them, for example, the 0 and the others to a number, for example, like 50. So you can see now my box has got a special kind of, look. So here it's got border radius, here it does not have. So it's something completely customized and does not look like this, the appearance and the design of this website in particular. So I'm gonna change the shadow a little bit to -4 because it's very dark. All right. And the color still a little bit lighter and a little bit, change it to blue. All right, so you can see that now this box is set for me. I can simply click on update here. When it is updated, click on visit your website or preview the changes. to see if these changes have been made to the page that you already changed. So I can see that to book a course, get in touch has been changed. And then my section here down below has also been added. And if I click on read more, it will take me to google.com because I changed the link for it to google.com. But you can actually add the link to go to a new tab, depends on your needs. And also you can see that its distance from the section above it and also below it is not enough. It's very dense. It's not really good looking. So you can change it. It's very simple. If you go to advanced options, you can add some margins or probably paddings as well. So I'm going to 25. If I add this here and to the top 25 as well, you can see that this one is actually getting a little bit is that distance from the section above it. And then I update it. And automatically this page is updated as well. So you can see now this space is a little bit more than before. So you can even make it more than that as well. You have all these options.
You could just finish up this section and we're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
So we don't have time, I think.
Yeah, amazing.
Right? Yeah, I understand. So that's it. Actually, I was going to create another section and add a button, but it's all right. That's just exactly like the previous section. So I think the most important thing in this tutorial is that how we use these widgets, but everything is just the same. So when you go and add a widget, you've got a content section, you have got a styling section, and the last but not least is the advanced section, which depends on the whole box that you are going to change the places for it or add a border radius or anything like that. So all of them just look the same. And I think if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer those questions.
Awesome. Sumolings, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the Q&A box. I did do a last call for questions a second ago. I know Sumolings are always wondering, we have they have a few theme builders and such, or website builders to choose from. What separates Deep from the others?
Probably the most important thing about Deep Theme could be its header builder and also portfolio builder, which actually, and also even footer builder, because they give you a lot of customizability options in order to create any kind of header or any kind of footer for your website you like using a page builder. So when you're using a page builder, you have all these customization possibilities in order to add like videos, images, sections, and style them just as you like. And also something else that is very important in Deep Theme is that, like I said, 99%, you won't need any coding knowledge. It's just a simple drag and drop, clicking on buttons, adding border radiuses, changing colors. So that's one of the most important things that can actually separate Deep Theme from its other rivals that are actually now working on the market. But in general, I think Deep Theme also has got a better performance in a speed, like most of the websites that or clients have. If you use, for example, Google Page Insight, you can see that the speeds are like above 90 and even 100, both on mobile and desktop. So these are the things that probably separates Deep Theme from other rivals. I could say that.
Awesome. I love it. And those are all the questions that we have, actually. So thank you for a very thorough walkthrough. And Sumolings, if you have any more questions, of course, you can leave those on the deal page. To redeem your codes, you can go to appsumo.com/deep. And this deal is starting at $49 for a lifetime deal. And of course, this is backed by AppSumo's 60-day guarantee. So you can go ahead, get started, play around with this, see how it works for you. And once you've done that, we do love to read your reviews on the deal page as well. So you can drop those there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have a good one.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you very much for having me here. Thanks.
Absolutely, always. Bye.
Goodbye.